Hello there. This is my soft Arkansas. Excuse me. And this is Rough Riders Denim micarta work knife with the Wharncliffe blade. This blade came to me, and at one point it had a pretty decent edge on it. There are still some sections of this blade that are actually shaving. But what I think it needs is just a little bit of a touch-up. It's already shaving. And what I'm doing is I'm using a lot of pressure on this edge. That knife shaves now along the entire edge of the blade. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move to alternating strokes. See, it didn't need much. I knew that it did need much. And this blade seems to be straight when you look at it, but if you look at the very tip, you can see the very tip rolls up. I don't know whether that's the way the factory did that or not, but it does roll quite a bit. So for all intents and purposes, that edge is lovely right now. I knew that it didn't need much because it was shaving on portions of the blade and it was not shaving on others. And I looked at the edge and it just looked like, to me, the edge looked good. It looked to me like what might have happened, and I think I'm right, is that the knife was used a bit, and so it just needed a little refresh. Now I have a black Arkansas. I'm going to come on to the matte side of this stone. This stone was given to me by the same gentleman that gave me that knife. And I'm going to come on here to the matte side of this stone. Take some of that water off of it. And what I did, you guys saw the flattening and conditioning video of this stone. So what I did when I got done with that is I brought this stone in here and I took a brush and soap and water and I scrubbed the snot out of this stone so that every bit of the grit that might be left on the edge, on the stone, from the silicone grit, the thick powder that was left on this stone, that might be left on this stone, was clean off of it. That is something important. If you flatten and or condition with thick powder or any other kind of powder, and it's generally a good practice with something like sandpaper or anything that's abrasive, but particularly with the powders, what you really want to do is you really want to scrub that stone, make sure that it's clean. Now you notice I'm keeping the surface of this stone wet, but I really don't have a crap ton of water. This is actually soapy water on the stone. Lovely. Dude, that's gorgeous. I don't know what the polish level is like because I haven't really looked at it, but just that little bit of work, stand by, I'm gonna get a loop, but just that little bit of work on this stone has really brought that edge up from where it was when I switched. I have my loop. Yeah, that's pretty nice. There are still what is it called? Striations in the edge. But I'm not looking for a pristine edge or a pristine bevel. I just want the thing to come up to a level of polish that I'm satisfied with. And what I mean by that is not so much what it looks like, but I don't know if you'll be able to see or not. But when I cut, I want a smoothness, a particular smoothness under my skin, or under the blade rather, which I already have. But I'm going to go just a little bit longer, just because this is a beautiful stone, and it's the first time that I've used it. On a knife. I used the other side and took a cuticle edge on a razor to the other side, the highly polished side of this stone, and it gave a gorgeous edge to that razor. I got a really fine shave off of it, so I'm pretty happy. I appreciate the stone Wayne. It's lovely. Alright, I'm going to let that be what it'll be. I know this is a kind of a short video, but when we start looking at knives and knife maintenance, you have to understand that if you do your job properly the first time, it does not take much. People whine and cry, oh, these blades, they're so soft, that 440A is junk. Well, maybe. I don't care. You know, it doesn't take nothing to put a razor sharp edge back on that knife, and it'll hold it pretty decent. So 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. You do you and I'll do me. But I'm perfectly happy with that. I'm going to take that to a strop, and then I'm going to stick that sucker in my pocket and use it. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.